So this is the first episode in the new podcast space. That's why it looks so rough right now. But I'm glad we got to do this. And I could not be happier with who we've got, starting with an absolute fucking banger of a guest. Got two gentlemen from Side Montero, one of the best fucking bands Albuquerque has right now. No question. No question. From fucking the actual production of your music, and I've got a lot to say about that because I've been listening to your most recent album and I fucking love it.
Thank you.
So not only with the way that album was produced, but your stage presence and seeing you guys live, great.
Thank you, man.
Fucking great. And mind you, I was sober too when I saw you guys. I got trashed afterwards. Yeah. It was fucking phenomenal seeing you guys live over at Inside Out. Yeah. A little sad that I didn't get to see the Slums live because they ended up getting rained out.
Yes.
But
don't throw a show at Inside Out when.
But the gentleman who threw on that whole release party, Johnny. I'm having him in next week.
Very cool dude.
Super nice guy, and he put together a great show, and you guys fucking killed it.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely killed it. So how long have you guys been making music?
We go way back. Probably it's friends, 3rd grade. Started by jamming in like 5th grade. Formed a band in 9th grade.
3rd grade before, Well, so a little history of the band. So me, Jaron, and Aaron, our singer, as well as Levi, our drummer, all went to the same elementary school. We all grew up in the same neighborhood since we were in 3rd grade. And one day, Aaron just came over to my house and he was like, "Hey man, you wanna play? You wanna jam?" Very very cute. And literally that was it. That was the start of it. And he was like, "I play guitar," and I was like, "No way, I play guitar too." And we just came over, played songs very poorly. And then
I think we started with Blitzkrieg Bop. I don't know if you ever heard it.
Yes. Rock Band and Guitar Hero were just like
that was probably the genesis.
And we were just like, "Hey, I know this song. Have you heard of it? It's in Guitar Hero too." And we met Levi. So Levi and Ben are 2 years younger than us, and Levi's older brother and my older brother are the same age, and they're best friends still to this day. And we just since then just been jamming. Aaron's older brother had gotten a drum set, and he just had it laying around in the garage. And then Levi was like, "Yo, can I play that?"
I was like at the time in 3rd grade starting to play music, and I wanted people to play with me. And it's kind of crazy just how it all ended up working out. Like I brought my drum set home from my brother's house, and the first person I met was our drummer when I moved to the neighborhood in Albuquerque. Because I used to live in Cochiti, the Pueblo, the reservation for a long time. So I moved to Albuquerque, met Levi, and then Levi already knew Jaron, so it was just like kind of bound that we were going to meet each other at some point. And then sure enough, I met him at school, and we found out we played the guitar. And we kind of just Levi was already at my house playing, just Blitzkrieg Bop, kind of just the simple songs, and then boom, next thing you know, we kind of started a little informal band.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, just the neighborhood kids, just like you're bound to run into each other, and like one day, run into these guys, and you just progress. He went to a different school.
And it probably didn't get more serious till after that.
We were literally just doing.
It wasn't until like 9th grade, after we had taken some music classes, we had like kind of developed our skills that like, oh wow, we can like actually be a band, write our own music. So we were I don't know if we want to disclose the first name of our first band, but our second band name. It was pretty bad. It was pretty embarrassing.
Hey,
the second name was.
It's
bound to happen.
Oh, we had the first.
Have you seen the name of this podcast, dude? It's okay. Like weird, obscure, or otherwise bad names are okay.
Dude, you next podcast.
OnlyKings. True. Yeah.
So no, it's okay.
Yeah, basic story. We've been jamming for like literally ever. Yeah. Picked up Ben. He was recent. This is our senior year of high school.
Yeah. So we Me and Levi went to Taylor. Aaron went to NACA, the Native American Community Academy.
Charter school.
Yeah, it's a small charter school. Small. And we, we're playing and like jamming, like music and like I don't know, just rock band stuff. And when we got to high school, we met Ben. Levi knew Ben because they're in the same grade. And we were like, or Levi came up to Ben and was like, hey, we need a bass player. Like, right now we just have our guitar player playing bass and he sucks. It was me. And he was just like, yeah, dude, I'll come through. And then Ben came over because we were playing in Levi's mom's, Levi's bedroom, basically, up until, two weeks ago. But anyways, Ben came through and then...
Wait, I'm sorry. You guys have been practicing in a bedroom? Up until 2 weeks ago?
So Levi's...
I don't believe that, by the way.
Yeah. No,
that's where we recorded too, so...
Yeah. Everything that you've, before this last album, everything you've heard, everything...
The first EP,
played, everything was been in a room this size. Mm. Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Jesus Christ. Okay, continue.
No, Ben came over, we jammed, and we were like... Yeah, we'll let you know what we were thinking. He was the only dude that showed up, and we jammed it. And me and Levi are like, okay, you're hired. First show's on Friday. It was like a Wednesday, and we played at the
Gorilla Hawk.
Yeah, it was back then. It was like Gorilla Hawk, but now I think it's Red Gorilla Hawk.
Red Gorilla, or something.
But yeah, his dad had a buddy who had
a big warehouse.
Yeah, Red Gorilla Studios.
It's on Edith, but it's like this big warehouse, and we had a show like literally 3 days after we told Ben, all right, you're in the band, and he learned all the songs. Like,
I mean, granted, they were like
pretty
covers simple. And super simple songs and.
But it's not to take credit away from that.
You're
still learning music.
Yeah, and we were and that show was literally to our parents and
all my dad's construction buddies.
5 people.
It was but it was fun. It was
but it was the first show that we had played with the lineup, and this whole project, Side Montero or Green Atmosphere was the band name.
That's not a bad thing. That's not too bad.
Yeah. That was like the birth, and from there we had played a couple shows. The first house show that we did was at the old Fly Honey warehouse. This is a DIY venue. It's
on Roosevelt Park where they have the frisbee golf. Yeah,
I know that's that.
Yeah, it's literally just like this garage in this guy's house.
It's a hole in the wall.
Yeah. Big punk scene there. So that's where we started. Kind of getting out was through the punk scene.
Well, and it's funny you say that because in listening to your stuff, especially this recent album, it's like you guys are a good fusion between Tame Impala, Blink, and then Greta Van Fleet. It's like all of that came together.
Cool. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it's good. Wow. No, it's fucking good. And I'm gonna make your life easier real quick. Everything's always evolving.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is always evolving. So let me just
switch the cord.
Why don't you tell them about that first Fly Honey show?
Oh yeah, so that Fly Honey show was it's pretty crazy. We kind of got snowed out immediately, and we thought it was gonna get canceled. But we're like, fuck it. This is our first show as a band. We have to go. Even if we die, we have to go. So, we kind of just drove Nikolai's, Forerunner over there. So eventually started playing, or got into the garage. It was freezing in that fucking thing.
Originally, the show was supposed to be at the Jam Spot, the old Jam Spot.
Oh,
and
that's
then
right.
this weird blizzard, this weird blizzard just hit, and then everyone was like, "Oh, I'm not going out tonight. This shit's crazy." But this touring band from Denver was called the Short Bus Rejects.
The Short Bus Rejects. Okay.
Yeah. Cool dudes. Yeah. But anyways, they were like, "Oh, we're still gonna have a show. Just here's the address. Come through if you're about it." And we had gotten Levi's older brother to drive my dad's Tahoe with all the gear and everything through the ice, and like we were slipping and sliding on the way there, and we were just like, yeah, fucking why not? Let's go.
And so, how far into the original, like the lineup coming together?
Second show.
This is the second show.
Second show.
Okay.
Nothing out. Nothing recorded.
Yeah.
Covers.
And what year
made
is
up
this?
Our set list. This is 2015. Yeah, like 2015. And we get to the house and we set up in the garage. It's snowing. It's incredibly cold.
It's freezing balls.
Yeah,
Everybody has fucking jackets on. Like you can see their breath. But once the first band started going, like everybody started fucking.
So it's the beginning venue in Guitar Hero 3.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It seriously is. It's like I used to remember playing those games, and now it's like you start out the first levels, and they're in a garage in front of like 5 people, and then you work your way up to the arenas and whatnot. But yeah, it was literally that.
The podcast is brought to you by one of our brand new sponsors, Bucked Up Nutrition. Look, it's no secret that I love going to the gym. Fitness and nutrition is a huge part of my life. And Bucked Up has partnered up with the podcast, help support it. I cannot be more excited. This is one of my favorite workouts. It's a high stimulant nootropic. I'm hitting PRs today, so I cannot wait to use this. The Banff Black by Bucked Up Nutrition. They've also got, as you can see, some awesome clothing here. With my t-shirts, I personally prefer the short logo here. Use our promo code at checkout, OKPod20, to get 20% off of awesome clothes, supplements, all their products here to include their stacks. That's OKPod20, another awesome stringer here for an additional discount at checkout.
And these people were like so nice and like incredibly. They gave these like dumbass 14-year-olds a chance. They let us play our set. One of the songs we played, we didn't even know what it was.
We half knew it. It was the Holiday in Cambodia by
that was one of the covers.
That was by the Dead Kennedys.
And we had somebody from the crowd, actually another band member from the first band who went on, come and sing the song for us because we were just like out there just trying to just play music. So
that's awesome.
It was a dope experience, and it was just like, there was like also heroin at the show, and it was like whole thing. It was like a DIY show, but like I don't know, it's like literally like just the start of like Guitar Hero. You start out, you play those shitty shows, not shitty shows, but like.
I think
it's humble beginnings.
I was gonna say it's important to recognize like what you're doing in the beginning. Like again, we kind of brought up in the beginning, but you listen to enough of Rogan's podcast. He doesn't shut the fuck up about his beginnings as a comedian. He doesn't, especially when like his comedian friends are on,
right?
And they talk about ad nauseum how important those beginning shows are, where you're going out in front of these crowds who don't like you, who don't care, and then you talk about like going in front of your dad's construction friends. That was the whole crowd. According to him, that was the whole crowd in Boston. Was the fact that they were just these guys who just worked a 10 to 12 hour day. They want to relax, have a couple of drinks. They're either with their friends or their wife or whatever it is. And if you're not funny, they're going to let you know.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine in the same respect to you guys, if you guys aren't good, you're going to find out real quick.
And that was the thing too. Yeah. Murder was the guy. His name. That's his name. Murder. He owned the whole warehouse. He was super impressed, and he was just like, damn, you guys, because he was also in a band that played before us, and he was like, damn, you guys showed us up. And every time he kept coming back to our shows, we just kept writing more new stuff, and it was just great to have that feedback from somebody who you would think is a stranger. But and I don't know, the beginning was definitely humble. We had just very kind of just tiny shows with probably max 15 people. But
it's
still kind of that way sometimes when we go travel. But
hot shit at all. Don't.
But no, I think the biggest takeaway for me is when somebody comes up and is like, "Damn, I've never heard of you guys before. You guys are sick," and that just is great because it means we made one fan and they're gonna share our music and it's gonna spread and.
Well, that's the funny thing about, I think, Albuquerque specifically with at least what I've noticed in my very short and very short-lived exposure to the entertainment industry here is word of mouth is everything. in this city. It is absolutely, you can have social media, you can have flyers, you can have banners, you can have your name on the marquee, but at the end of the day, it's, like you said, it's a new fan who tells his family members, who tells his friends, and it kind of just spreads because the community is so big here. And like I was kind of mentioning earlier, I genuinely enjoy your guys' sound. So looking back, because you said your first couple of shows were in 2015, how old were you then? 17? Okay, so you're looking back then and then yourself now. Do you feel like where did it happen to where you have the sound you have now? Did you have that same musical intelligence then, or something that like really had to evolve? A
lot of fights.
Into?
Yeah, you could say that. But to answer that question, it wasn't until we kind of all went away to college and kind of did our own thing and kind of like delved into our own musical sound and our taste. Because when we came back, it's like we mixed those ideas. And like Side Montero's birth, it was like this whole different, like more evolved understanding of like, oh, this is serious. I know what I like. I mean, it might be different from you, but hey, those things can merge. And we had to like First Class was like this flamenco, jazz, hard rock plus indie, like at the end. And to me, that's really cool because, we're not trying to be like anybody else or sound like anybody else. It's mainly just about, what can we create together using our minds. And, so I'd say it wasn't until first year after, second year after college. Yeah, sophomore year, we came back.
And what year is that?
That was 2018. 2018.
Yeah.
Because we graduated 2016. I went to college for 2 years, came back, took a break, and then that's when I went over to that party with Levi and Ben, and we wrote Your Loss, First Class, and I can't remember what else. But we wrote those in the apartment at that time.
I was
and
there too.
Yeah, I think you were there. I think he was there.
Yeah,
but
so basically, that whole DIY show was like that whole, and when we got Ben was like the green atmosphere birth. And then me and Aaron went to college because we graduated in 2016, and we went to school for a year on the East Coast, both of us, and then we came back, and then after that year, we had been hanging out with was that party before Jots? Like the rollover? Anyways, we had come back after a year of college, and then within that year, everybody kind of took time away from the band, and we found ourselves. We just kind of delved into what we like and the kind of the artists and the music and individualism that we wanted to bring to the table. And when me and him had gotten back from college, that's when I guess you could say the whole Side Montero thing was born. Because we can get into the story of the band name, and that's how it started. But
we ain't got nothing but time, man.
Yeah, so we'd gotten back from college our first year, and we were hanging out with our buddy Jot, who's done some of the artwork for us, and super talented artist, and one of our dearest buddies. And we were hanging out at his place one night, and it was me, Aaron's little brother, who's also named Ben, and Levi, and we were just hanging out, doing whatever. And then when we were leaving, we went to this place called The S, and we had all gone to La Cueva, and it was the spot that a lot of La Cueva kids would go to do whatever, honestly, drink, smoke, and drift. So basically the S, it's called that because there's a dirt road that's in the shape of an S, and so people would go there just to drift. And so we're like, oh, we're on the way back home, let's go drift a little. And so we go back, and we all take turns, and Levi's driving, and he whips a little too hot, and we roll the Montero that we're in, and the shock set in that we had just rolled a car that we were all in, and we were all just kind of like, What happened?
The podcast is brought to you today by OrganicPriceBooks.com. I love comic books. That is absolutely no secret to any of my friends, family, or listeners. And right here is just some of the comics that I have either bought or gotten sent to me by the fine folks over at Organic Price Books. As you can tell, they have a wide selection from DC, Independent, Marvel, and they have become the #1 spot for everything omnibus, oversized hardcover, or just general collected editions. No matter what you want, they've got it. Go to their website and at checkout, use our promo code, just my name, Noah, Noah, to get additional discounts on top of what they already offer, which ranges anywhere from 30 to 50% off. OrganicPriceBooks.com, use my promo code, Noah, Noah, and start reading comics today.
and then we were on the side, and we all got out of the Montero.
We landed on our side, and that's the reason why we're called
basically.
Simon
Very
That's great.
on the nose. But
nobody
we
was
almost
hurt.
died. It was whatever.
Yeah, it was whatever. But no, it was sick. I mean, in the sense that you can tell the story now, but at the time it was
not
really
a good,
bad.
not a
Not
good
at the
summer.
I was going to say, how old were you when that happened?
19, 18.
Oh, yeah, we were 18. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I
so
was 18. No, I would just turn 19.
Yeah, so I was still 18.
Because I literally after that happened, 3 days later, I left to study abroad.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I didn't
So
get to-
he went to
Oh,
fucking
bro.
Italy.
He was like,
we
all
all
right.
got our asses beat. Yeah.
Yeah, you're old enough to figure out what you just did, but young enough not to know what the real consequences
Right.
could have been.
Yeah.
And it was his car or
Levi's
Levi's car. So
They're 2 years younger than us, so he was like what? 16. He was like 16,
He was-
and
oh,
Ben
he
was
was 17.
15.
He was 17. He was 17.
Yeah. Anyways,
If
it
it
was
makes
crazy.
you feel, it makes you feel any better. My the very first car I had, I smashed it going 75 miles an hour into the back of a cop. So,
Oh no!
So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, what did he do?
Yeah.
What happened?
So I was driving down. I always forget like which freeway is going towards the mountains.
40.
That's 40, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going down I-40, and I'm speeding, like obviously, and so I'm going down I-40, I'm about 75 miles an hour, 80, and I'm driving, and I look up, and I see, all right, that's my exit, Eubank, I should start to fucking merge, but before I know it, I'm going straight, and boom, I fucking slam 75 miles an hour into the back of a police van, right? Fucking my car, the fact, and I'm in the far left lane, so the fact that I could even like, I ended up on the shoulder. It's like something out of a fucking movie because like I fucking slam. I'm disoriented. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I like turn and I look and like all the cars behind me have come to a stop. It's like God himself came down and just stopped the cars. Right? And they're probably just like, oh, fuck, this dude's about to
They're
get
laughing
shot.
at you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, oh, fuck. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I had to force my car into, it went to neutral. So I forced my car into drive and I fucking all the way to the side. And thank God it wasn't like a real cop. It was a like police trainer.
The PSA dude.
No. It was this old dude that was like 55, maybe 60 years old, and he's a trainer for the police academy, driving a police van, or like an APD like van or whatever. So we get to the side, and I'm fucked up, right? Like I barely have any idea what's going on. Obviously, all the fucking airbags, and the way I drive like this, and also I was driving my Honda Accord, right? So I've got it tatted now, but when the fucking airbags deployed, this went like that.
Oh yeah.
Right? But the Honda symbol's on the fucking steering wheel, so the fucking so there's a half an H imprinted in my fucking forearm.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck? And so I get my shit together. And he comes up to me. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he goes, "Yeah." Turns out there was a 4-car, 5-car pileup, like 200 meters in front of us. And what happened was everyone started slamming on their brakes, and then so it went me, police van, semi.
Gotcha.
So when the semi came to a stop, the dude in the police van barely fucked with his brakes. He pulled his e-brake. So he went from because I was following right behind him a little bit, so he was probably going like 80, 85, and I was going about 70 to 75. So he went from that to 0 like that. Yeah. And then so my car can't fucking, I'm just pressing the brakes. So I hit.
And if you're looking for your exit too, it's like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Split second of just like,
Yep.
oh
Boom.
shit. Boom.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that was the first time I totaled my car. So don't feel as bad. Because no.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it fucking sucked. It fucking sucked.
I'm always thinking that too. They're just like, I don't know, people are slamming the brakes on the road, and I slam, and I'm always looking right behind me, like, please don't be on your phone. Please don't be on your phone, because someone could just hit you from behind, or you could same thing. You know, if you just look at your phone for 1 second, boom, just.
And see, after that incident, I've made, especially if I'm in the like the far left, I don't even fucking like, I'll press my brakes obviously, but I don't even like think about that. I just go immediately into the shoulder. I'm like, if I don't see anybody, shoulder it is.
Yeah.
And that saved me a couple times. Because sure enough, just like you said, there's some asshole on their fucking phone behind you, and I'll like merge into the shoulder, and then this guy will just keep going forward, and I'm like,
bro, you would have fucked my.
Like, thanks, man, appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
No. Sorry, are we allowed to cuss on this?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Fuck yeah.
I was like,
fuck yeah.
I'm not sure if this is PG or.
No, this is definitely the fuck not. Anyway, so like I was saying a little bit before, I've been listening to mainly your first full album, In the Loop, and I wanted to have that. And the reason I want to have that pulled up is Tracers is fucking great.
Thank you. It was dope. I want to take all the credit for it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's a great album.
It is all this guy.
Nah, it's not on me.
We can get into this. Yeah,
it's never all
thank you.
anybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
With Tracers in particular, that song, like all of our songs, have just evolved from something from the start to the finish completely different. So like everything we put out, everything we've played, everything we've jammed is not like it sounded from the start at all.
Yeah.
And kind of like what Aaron was saying about First Class, which was the first song we ever put out under Side Montero, was Aaron bringing a riff that he had written on his acoustic guitar that was this flamenco, very Spanish, very soulful song to bringing it to us. And then I put my input, Ben and Levi put their input on it, and they're like, this might work better, we might slow it down a little bit. And it is what you hear, what's out now. And what Aaron and the rest of the dudes brought for Tracers was like this surf punk, like not punk, but like
I didn't even know what it was. It was
very
just,
indie, very.
It was a lot more
poppy,
upbeat.
upbeat.
There was, it wasn't It wasn't even slow. There was like, it just was totally.
It was
different.
cute. It was cutesy. Okay.
But that I love that we all can do that, because it really kind of. I don't know, when we write our songs, we all, that there's all a piece of us in that. It's not like one person doing everything or one person writing something. It's like, it's always all of us together.
Well, that's incredibly unique, because, at least in my opinion, because if you hear about a lot of, let's say, like, whether it's punk, whether it's rock, these more like mainstream genres, the top bands, there's always the one, or provided they don't have the ghostwriters, right?
Songwriter, yeah.
You have the one main person that's writing 90% of the songs, and then everyone kind of, they'll infuse their own musical style, their own way that they either do guitar riffs, or the way they keep a beat with the drums. But at the end of the day,
it works. It
works. Well, because a great
yeah.
example of that is, at least for the first thing that comes to my mind, is Avenged Sevenfold, right? Before Nightmare, that album, the Rev, exactly. The Rev wrote everything, like 90 to 95% of the discography. Unfortunately, he passes away half through of Nightmare, right? And then if you look at everything afterwards, which there hasn't been a whole lot, it's just Hail to the King and The Stage. Those are two completely different albums, because they're trying to just figure out where they want to go next, right? So, and originally what I wanted to ask you guys too is, so how many of there are you total?
Just 4.
There's 4 of you guys. So you 4 are bringing your own unique sound, your own life experiences. You mentioned that you guys went off to college, went abroad. You're having a lot of varied life experiences. You guys come back and you bring that all together. That breaks bands apart, right?
Yeah.
That breaks
Yeah,
up any
for sure.
collaboration, right? So what was that experience like, kind of coming back together and then having those conversations where it's like, yeah, you like X, but I like Y, and then where do we meet in the middle and create Z?
Well,
you know?
I think what separates us personally is like the fact that we've had such a strong bond from the beginning. You know, we all grew up together.
Yeah,
like, you
since
know,
we were 8 years
yeah,
old.
and like your music taste isn't gonna drive us away. like you know,
It's like more exposure, if anything.
right? Yeah, and it just kind of, it just works, honestly. Like,
But I mean, I will not lie. Like there are times like we do have visions of where the song could go, and yeah, we kind of have to compromise. And
Well, because
that's
ego.
rough.
Like,
Exactly,
we're human.
We are, and I'm not gonna lie about that. Like yeah, it's we all have this vision, and we really believe in it, and we want each other to see it. But sometimes it just takes time, and I think the reason why we were able to just like maintain our band while being apart constantly was actually that separation, because it allowed us to kind of marinate in like, all right, what is my friend trying to say? What are we trying to listen to? And it gives us time to like be apart and not like just make haste decisions right away. It's like, all right, well, we can be, a little more like, all right, I'll give this a listen. And then, yeah, next thing you know, it's like, this sounds really good or this sounds really bad. Yeah. And usually we kind of come to a consensus, like, hey, let's go with this.
And we're always sending each other like, I really like this song. I really like what this song's trying to do. And basically what that means is like, I want us to kind of go in this direction. And, I'll open it and I'll read it, or I'll listen to it and I'll be like, okay, so this is what he's trying to convey. And, it just gives you kind of a better understanding of where, that person's at, and you're trying to think like, okay, I can make this work.
Because at the end of the day, like, making music, it's about collaborating and like feeling, just being in the music and not like being so critical. It's like that's when the best music is made. It's like when we kind of just like just are very inclusive of each other's ideas, and that I feel like that's when we kind of wrote the best music. And Tracers specifically, like, yeah, that was a whole totally different upbeat song. And I love the way it turned out. It's actually, Jaron and Ben's idea to like totally just slow down and save the build up for the end. And it totally was way more effective that way.
It works.
It works
so well.
I love it, yeah. And I would not change it. I would not have it any other way. So at the end of the day, like, I trust each other's expertise, because I know, I can't do that, and I know they're going to put in the work to like make something that's meaningful.
Yeah, and you got to trust these guys' tastes. Like, I know they have good taste in music, so like whenever they think like, oh, we should do this, then that comes from a good place. Like, they have the best interest. They're not just gonna fuck up your song.
So that's it's a very good point. But is that something you had to learn as a person, or is that something you've always had? Because the reason I bring that up is, like, again, we're all human. We all have flaws. It's part of being part of the human condition, and ego is a real thing. And in collaborative projects, whether it's something as small as you're in the fucking 9th grade and you've got your biology project, and you've got the one person who wants to do all the work, all the way down to the one guy who does none of the work.
Yeah,
and shows up and says, "Yes, I did learn about frogs." But like in collaborative projects, you have to make it. Frankly, to make it sound as good as you guys make it sound, you have to put ego aside. So was that a learned skill, or is that something like, no, we have this mutual respect because we've known each other since we were so fucking long?
A little bit of both.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's about, I think it was
easier to learn, I guess.
Through experience.
Yeah.
We learned to share at an early age.
Yeah. I mean, we were good friends forever, but like, you have to learn to compromise. And yeah, there's going to be arguments, and yeah, there's going to be like, all right, well, I don't know if this is going to work. And I think the time apart was really what helped us to kind of just like, all right, let's cool down. Let's think about what each other's trying to say, and let's come back again. Let's play it. And it's like, all right, yeah, maybe you're right. And so, yeah, there definitely was, a little contention sometimes, but that's what brothers do. It's like, my little brother is my fucking best friend, but he's the only person who knows how to push my buttons. Like, nobody else. Like, anybody, stranger on the street, I don't give a fuck, you know, what they do, what they say. It's only my brother who gets to me and these people. But it's because I love them to death, you know, and it's like I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world because, yeah, it's like I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. It's either them or nothing. So, yeah.
The dog.
I was like, oh, hey, what's up?
And I also think like the theme of this album was like about self-actualization because we all were kind of coming through this stage of like, all right, we're going through college. We're like young men trying to like find our place and meaning in the world. And, you know, that takes a lot of responsibility and a lot of like mental growth and a lot of maturity. And so I think completing this album really helped to solidify that in our relationship because now, like, bro, we have so many ideas. Like, I'm so fucking excited to just write this next album because, like, we are on a whole higher plane than we were ever before 2 years ago. And so, yeah, we're doing fucking great. And I'm fucking excited as fuck. So that's all you got to know.
Oh, no, that's important. No, that's good because, like, there's a lot of I think this is purely because of the advent of social media, how everyone just kind of purports this, oh, my life's amazing, but they expect you to be humble anyway. No, if you're putting out a good product, be proud of it.
Yeah.
Say that you're happy about it. Say that you're ready for the next move because that's so to have confidence in yourself. Because I think there's a huge difference between confidence and being cocky, having hubris, etc.
Yeah, totally. Right.
And I'm not even talking about our music. Like, I'm just talking about our lives as, like, individuals. Like, we're all really healthy, and I've seen our growth as individuals, and it's great. And I know that's going to carry on to our music, and I know that's going to just carry on to everything that we do and we want to do. So I'm excited. I'm super excited. Yeah.
That made me cry.
We got so many ideas, bro. Yeah. We got so many ideas.
So what? Okay, but that's a very good point you bring up. So what? I guess in your own like litmus test, what goes into like? Because again, a lot of music is vulnerability, and I mean, whenever I say generic music, everyone kind of has their own idea of what's generic, what's very studio based, what's very like literally down to like the psychology of what beats of music do humans like that will make them think it's catchy, right? That's in every fucking TikTok dance, right? You have that kind of music, but then you have actually good, well-produced, well-written, well thought out and mixed music. And the more vulnerable that artist is, the better that music tends to be.
Yeah, because it's genuine. You know, people can see through the bullshit. And
so how much of your own like personal lives bleeds into what you're writing?
0%. All filler, all pop.
It's all, yeah.
She was 17.
So we have a ghostwriter secretly.
Taylor Swift ain't got shit on you, huh?
Yeah. No.
Nah, literally.
Well, quick shout out to Jacob Torres because he's the one that has recorded and mixed and mastered everything. He's another dude that we went to high school with. And,
so you guys don't go to professional studio?
So we did for this last album.
Okay, so I was gonna say.
Just kidding. No, we had a great time. Elephonic, shout out Jesse. We recorded everything there, and then we just had Jacob mix and master. I mean, like money was a part of it too, for sure. But you know, just being able to have that creative, collaborative effort with someone who knows who we are and the sound that we're like our goal is way better than trying to play catch up and guess with somebody. It was trying to catch someone up over a bond and a brotherhood that you're paying, but but yeah, I mean we've done some studio stuff and we got like some studio stuff in the future, but I don't know, I'm fairly proud of what we've put out so far just because it has been all us, like everything in a room like this with gear less than this.
And it has taken like, I don't know, I think the fact that we all grew up together, it has contributed to like our ability to be more vulnerable and more like,
for sure,
all right, like this is what I really want to convey and I don't want to hold it back. Like even just singing, like that was probably one of the biggest obstacles for me, Ben and Jaron, just like to be able to sing in front of each other. And like, you know, that can feel really weird.
Well, you're being vulnerable. No, you're being vulnerable.
Like shit. I sound like shit all the time, and I'm not gonna lie, like it's funny.
That's hilarious.
No, it's like when you're on a road trip and you catch your homies singing along to the song, and you're like, "What's up, dude?"
Yeah, so we fucking throw so much shit at each other, and I'm so happy we're at the point where like I don't feel like I can do whatever the fuck I want, and these guys don't.
It
care.
just
And like
it takes a certain level of being comfortable with people that around each other, that you need to be able to hit, and you need to be able to feel loved and able to express yourself freely if you're gonna write music for other people that don't even know you. So it's just kind of been a learning process to see how we interact within the group and within ourselves to be able to be confident in something that we put out for other people to listen to.
And it definitely helps that we're like childhood friends, because it's like fuck.
Yeah, and it also helps that we don't take shit like too serious, like
that too,
like with each other. Like we push yourself, we push each other.
You take the project extremely seriously, but as far as criticism,
I'm gonna laugh at this dude
helpful.
every time.
Yeah,
every take we die laughing. We have so many bloopers. We have so many like.
We die laughing. We die punching. It's a good dynamic we got going on right now.
So what was that like, taking like your first step out of Albuquerque, going on the road? Like, when did that start? Because when I first saw you guys perform live, I was talking with, I was talking to Leroy from the Slums, and he was saying how you guys had just gotten done with a tour, if I'm not mistaken, right?
July.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what was the very first out of Albuquerque experience like for you guys? You went to where did you go? What was it like?
The first Side Montero show wasn't even here. It was in Utah.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. So I had gone to school in Utah for undergrad for a little bit, and Utah has a crazy scene. Utah has a not
huge
just
indie
not
scene.
The Mormons party or what?
No,
without alcohol.
The opposite. Yeah, like you go out to drink. They don't drink, so they have the kids and the youth have to do something. So they form bands, and they just have a huge scene.
No shit.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Pops.
Yeah. Huh?
They drink soda.
Fizz and Swig. Yeah,
Swig,
shout out. Yeah, Swig cookies hit. But so I was going to school in St. George, and I had some friends that ran a studio and like a space that had shows and whatnot, and I was like, hey, my friends have this like, basically just like an opportunity, just wait. And they were like waiting for people to come through. They're like, we want bands, we want singer-songwriters, we want we want to build something. And
what was his name? Alec.
Well, yeah,
Alec.
It was like a whole collective of people just like, were doing it because they loved, making good music and just, giving a platform to people that like that deserve to have one. And I told these guys, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to do a show? Come to St. George. And we had a show with a couple other Utah locals, and we played songs that were like off of the first EP, I think, that we had wrote, and it was just good. It was just like a really good time, and traveling out of state to do whatever you're doing is always a fun thing. And we were like, oh, we should do this like back home. And well, part of it was like there was nobody that would ever have us, like besides the whole DIY thing. There was no like venues that would have dumbass 18-year-old kids just play their set. They just want to give us a shot, and we're like, fuck it, we'll come to Utah. We'll go to Utah. And like it's changed. It's obviously changed since then, but
we're obviously the shit. But
no. I'm saying people are much more open to letting local talent and young, just giving a platform to people who deserve it, and it's everybody. But we played that show, and we had a lot of fun. Everyone was like, oh, like, you know, you guys should keep doing it. And so I eventually, the summer came along, moved back to Albuquerque, and we write a couple more songs, and then I go back to school, and I'm like, hey, Salt Lake, there's a show in Salt Lake if you guys want to play it. So we played in Salt Lake, and then we came back, more St. George shows, come back, write more stuff, you know, play a show here, Launchpad or the Jam Spot here and there. And, you know, this is when we're still, what, like 18, 19?
Yeah. You forgot to mention
sophomore college.
The music video we filmed for the first show. Remember we did like a live session, and
the arborist
and the
sessions.
arborist,
Yeah. So they were like kind of following the Audio Tree model. Do you know what Audio Tree is?
I've heard the name, but I don't really know.
It's this like it's like a collective in Chicago that just showcases a lot of really cool bands, and it's dope. One of our goals is to eventually, you know, get on the Audio Tree. But it was kind of like that. It was just like, you know, find local talent or national, like regional talent, and bring them in, do a session with them. We'll do like a recorded live, you know, a couple songs. But we took it a step further. We did like some skits.
Yeah, well, stuff. They wanted to do some skits.
Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, you're from Albuquerque,
like unique."
Yeah, be unique. Like, bring a little of your New Mexican flavor.
Bring some of that, you know, Breaking Bad, blue meth. Come on, that's all you do is fucking cook and smoke meth.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, kind of. But no, it was really cool. Everyone there had a really good, you know, mission statement, and we did that, and then so that was our first taste of getting out of Albuquerque. So, you know, we're thankful and grateful for everything that, you know, everybody in Utah had done, like in Idaho, we did shows, and shout out all those dudes, and, you know, and then we came back, and then we had just started to pick up, like, okay, we have made a name somewhat of ourselves. We put out a project. We've been playing some shows. We've been bringing people to the shows. Well, but this is like before that, because the first shows we played here, like that weren't our like family and friends, was like nobody. Like there's a video of us playing at Launchpad. There was one dude. It's Dustin in the crowd. Yeah. Shout out Dustin Schwartz.
Our first real show, we did those house shows.
Because
that first house show we got snowed out, and then the second one, it was decent.
That was like the birth.
Yeah, that was
Montero,
the birth. Yeah. We actually, so we couldn't find a venue because like you said, nobody was like allowing us to play. Yeah. So like, fuck it, let's just get an Airbnb. Let's just fucking throw a house show, and why not? And so it went super well.
Yeah,
like
it was
a lot of people.
Well.
Too well. A lot of people came. Unfortunately, the fucking owners had cameras inside their home the whole time. So they saw all that shit. Well, they were texting me all night. Like, I was not even checking my phone because I was pretty drunk.
Somebody unplugged the camera system to charge their phone.
My friend Johnny was like, he unplugged the thing. He's like, oh, this is a toaster? Oh, like, I need to charge my phone. And the cameras went off, and that's when they were going berserk on my phone.
So you weren't even like, we got to hide this from the Airbnb owner. Just my phone's at like 2%, bro. I'm trying to get some pussy tonight. I'm going to fucking plug this in real quick.
They're on their way. Like, they're coming. What's that?
Before that, like, the owners had caught other people like fucking just pissing out on their front lawn.
Yeah, and they weren't our friends. They weren't
like, they're just randos.
Yeah, people to the show. It was a house party in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But it was
deep in Albuquerque.
Yeah, so I got the fucking worst review on Airbnb. Like I trashed reviews. So I gotta make another one or use couch or whatever that fucking other. Anyway, but it went really well. That was definitely like the.
Everybody had a good time. Everybody was like, "Oh, you guys are so good!" Like,
well, that's a great fucking story. Are you
kidding me? That was.
I really forgot that.
And that was the first show I would say of Side Montero. Because we didn't even have a band name. They were like, Blank's band is playing at this party. We should go. It's like, Jared, like, I had invited my friends. He invited his, Levi, Ben's. They all came. We had a really good time. Everybody, like, still remembers it. And it was like, they're like, oh, that was the first show. Like, yeah, I was there. And I was like, I don't remember. But
what made it all worth it was, like, Levi's dog passed away that day.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like,
R.I.P. Biscuit.
It's either we gotta fucking
show
we
out.
have to show out tonight.
We have to ruin this Airbnb.
Exactly.
Ruin this name of couple's home because Biscuit died.
But that was the thing though. It's like we had a really sick party. A lot of people came, and then when they left, like we cleaned up. It was spotless when we left, and they still left me that shitty ass review.
Well, because they were like,
because they turned off the cameras, and they were like, "What's going on?" The neighbors are saying.
The neighbors said stuff. They did not trash the house, is what we're saying in the review, but they just threw a party. So we'll throw a party in your house, but we'll make sure it looks the same. Leave no trace.
If the cleanup is going bad,
it'll look better than you fucking left it.
And our homie's phone was charged.
Exactly.
So you guys, oh my God, that's a fucking great story. So you guys go through Utah, you're doing the thing, and you come back here.
Yeah.
What does that look
like? We maybe get a shot, like you get 20 minutes. Play on. You start at 7. Nobody at the bar, fucking nobody. And it's like, okay, whatever. Fuck it.
First launch
fuck
show.
it. Who cares? I don't care where you put us. We're gonna use the time they give us. So we played. Right. And we just realized, like, oh, okay, this is what we need to do. You just learn from, getting those shit spots. Yeah. And we just took that time to write and reflect and be like, okay, what do we want? How do we make it happen? Let's do it. Do we want more people at the shows? Like, okay, cool. Let's get booked. 2, let's invite our friends and family and just kind of pack the place. And 3
after that Jam Spot show we started getting way more into like promoting and making posters and trying to like actually let it be known, like, hey, we're out here, we're trying to play music,
we're trying,
like, come support.
That's the most important thing, is like, we're trying to do this.
And it's great that we have good friends who like tell people.
Well, I was gonna say, like, what's important is your project, especially because I've had to fucking deal with this both in the literal sense and the mental sense. Like, your project is only as legitimate as you make it. Yeah. If you treat it like it's this side hobby or that it's this bullshit thing you do, and it's like, I step on stage or I go to my buddy's bedroom and I fucking strum the guitar a couple times and sing for 30 seconds and I'm in a band.
Which is cool. Like, if that's what you want to do.
But if you want to actually do something with this, which you guys clearly want to do, it's very obvious.
I'll just be free one day. Okay, we have a show.
But if you want to actually make it something legitimate, you have to be, and it's a lot easier said than done. You have to show up and say, yes, I am in this band. I am writing music, and we are playing at this venue. And if you don't want to be there, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, but people will respect that fact so much more than just like...
Again, confidence versus being cocky or hubris.
Yeah, and you only need one good show to tell people that, like, oh, this is like your thing. Like, this is what you do. Yep. Like, this is what, we're trying to do. Yeah. And, if you had a good time, then like, great. If you didn't, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's okay. We're still, still out here. Like, thank you for coming.
Right. Well, no, and that's a very good point. It's like, again, the community in Albuquerque, in New Mexico, is very much word of mouth, telling people what's up, telling people what's going on. Right. Because, like, there really isn't a nightlife in Albuquerque. Like, but then how many times? Well, how many times does fucking FX, Cake, Lotus, Anodyne? How many nights a month are there violent crimes? How many shootings are there? Because I'll be honest, up until maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I was very much in the camp of, I'm not going out, I'm not going to bars, I'm not going to clubs. Because
he's scared.
Pussy. Fuck yeah, bro! I'm not trying to get. I'm not trying to catch a fucking case. And then at the time, I was dating someone who, I obviously thought was extremely attractive. So I was like, that just, in my opinion, that brings a risk.
Yeah, you can get in so many fights.
That just brings a risk that I didn't want to necessarily undertake. And
don't date a bad bitch.
Right. Just ate some fucking Uggo, some 300-pound fucking beast whale.
Sorry, man.
But no, it's
you knew what you signed up for.
I know, for real. But no, even when we did start going out, nothing bad happened. But there were just instances where it was like that could have turned bad.
Yeah,
Thank God he didn't have that many drinks. Thank God that he wasn't. You know what I mean? There's a lot of variables.
Right.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing is I had this conversation like 2 weeks ago. We were me and a buddy of mine. We were talking about how basically the idea that if you have a problem with somebody, whether it's in a bar, whether it's wherever you're at, the
Shoot
idea
them.
that you're gonna go outside and fight it or like work it out, no, that is dead. Like you get in a conversation with somebody, they're gonna fucking shoot you, they're gonna stab you.
It's so unpredictable.
It's sad, but like that's just the way the world is now.
Yeah. I was listening to the episode you had with Zach Beta, the comedian.
God fucking bless.
And,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy to think that you just want to have a night out with your friends and you just want to have a good night, downtown in the city that you live in.
Well, and what's fucked
you
up,
have to think about, you have to be scared about, pissing the wrong person off, pissing anybody off.
That's the fucked up part about his story. For people who haven't listened to that episode or haven't really checked that out, he's in the top 5 of the comedians in this city, without a doubt. But they went out, they did this fucking roast, and then they all went back to his apartment, and all he did was go down and take his dogs out to take a shit and a piss. And a fucking car came up and he got shot. No real reason, no rhyme, nothing. He just got fucking shot on the spot because a couple of fucking kids. And the way he describes it, if I'm remembering it correctly, is they couldn't have been older than fucking 21, 22. By the way that they were just speaking, the way they were like talking. They didn't even leave the car, from what I remember. And they just pulled up, shit, like there's maybe like about a 15-second, interaction, and then he got shot. And then his buddy came down and was like, yeah, take me to the hospital. I just got fucking shot. Yeah.
Who is this guy?
His name is Zach Abeda. He's a stand-up comedian here, and he's
Josh?
Yeah.
Fournier.
He's
friends with him.
He's the comedian dude.
No, I seen him.
Yeah,
he got shot.
he got shot back in April. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's.
But but then you look at what he's doing. Like he's doing stand-up comedy fucking full time. He's touring. He does shit in Albuquerque, but he tours. He goes around, and then every last Sunday of the month, he's got his own headlining show at Lobo. So he's doing cool shit. But unfortunately, because of the city we fucking live in, he just got fucking blasted for no reason.
Yeah. It's kind of stupid just how lenient the gun. I mean, I don't want to say get into like politics or gun laws, but like I remember one time I was driving and this fucking asshole, we were like turning left, and he just was so impatient. He fucking pulled in front of me and tried to cut me off, and I was driving. I almost like ran him off the road, and he was getting all pissed, yelling at me. And I was like, "Fuck you!" And he was yelling it back at him, and probably shouldn't have done that. But anyways, when we were pulling up, he fucking went like this. And he tried to pretend like he had a gun and shit. And I'm like, bro, like...
What happened to the days?
What happened to the city, man? People are like, not only bitches, but like, that could really happen at any point. And I was just like, maybe that guy's a fucking piece of shit. But like, I shouldn't have antagonized him. I shouldn't have done anything because, you don't know what can happen at any point.
It doesn't take guns to teach you or to.
Well, there's a level
to teach you that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But also, it's just like
it's sad. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Well, socially speaking, I think there's a level of human error that, granted, in today's world, a lot of people don't really account for because you're always the hero of your own story. You're always the perfect person, and you never make a mistake. And they are all shitty, but not me. Oh no!
I won't say that I did antagonize him. Yeah. I did try to run him off the road because he's a fucking asshole. But like, I don't know. Maybe I just should have just chilled out.
But the reason I bring all this up about the violence in Albuquerque,
the answer is yeah.
About the entertainment, well, really the lack of a real nightlife here, is that, and another person I've become a friend with, his name is Robert Gibbs. He's another really big stand-up here. He brought up a point that there is a void here in Albuquerque for entertainment in general.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But especially with his music, I feel like the biggest genre here is rap, hip hop, that scene.
Metal.
Right. But then there's
heavy.
But the metal,
which is cool.
But no. I love heavy metal, but metal only really comes up when the big names come in. Right? You hear about a local metal band, you're like,
point.
oh, a guy who fucking screeched into a mic, go fuck yourself. But then again, in October, fucking Slipknot's coming with Ice Nine and all them. So it's like, okay, that's dope. Everyone's gonna show out for that, but no one's gonna show out for the smaller fucking screamo band.
Right.
I know that from experience, going to see my friends who have been in metal fucking screamo bands. That no one was. It was me, my ex, and like 2 other people.
Yeah, and if you put your buddy's band, at a sled before you opening up for Slipknot or whoever, they're gonna kill it.
Yeah, more than likely. I'll be honest, more than likely. But my point of bringing that up is like, you guys have talent. You have the actual discography to back that up. And then seeing you guys perform live, like you guys have to, I really do believe that you guys can fill that void where it's like, and people fucking showed out. Like Inside Out was packed. Like
that
I
was
couldn't
our
fucking breathe.
Second show there. And what's up?
I was gonna say, no, we've noticed that, like, literally that point you're making, the void is like, once we went out of state,
definitely.
holy shit, everybody loves this type of music.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people there's so many people making this type of music. Like, we need to bring this talent to New Mexico, but there's nothing.
Well, because New Mexico is so far behind in quite literally everything.
Let me
quite
say,
literally, we can go on for hours.
10 years behind.
Let me say, no. That was somebody in Utah. I will say, there's no.
That was you.
Yeah. No, there's talent here. Like there is talent that deserves to be showcased here. But somebody that we were in Utah, they were like, I just feel like New Mexico's 2 years behind in everything, like fashion.
Because we
music.
are.
Yeah. You hear the new Donda? Yeah. But like, I don't know. It's just like, Albuquerque and especially Albuquerque, but New Mexico in and of itself is just so unique, and it's just like its own. People forget that exists. Like people forget that it's just like, oh, like when we say, oh yeah, we're from Albuquerque, and they're like, oh, like Bugs Bunny, like fucking whatever.
Bad,
yeah, Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's just like no, it's that real place that's like a couple hours away that way, and people just kind of dismiss it as if it's like, oh, like I never heard of anything to come out of Albuquerque because nobody has
even
ever
when I went to
mainstream
school,
ever come out of Albuquerque. Because there's maybe a handful of people, but it's just it's frustrating because there's a lot of talent in things here that just deserve to be showcased in a way that people other than our family and friends get to hear. Like that was our back when we were first starting this band. We like one of our mission statements was like, people need to hear what's coming out of here. Like people deserve to know that like we're not like just some fucking like ragtag team of Rugrats or like doing this on the weekend. Like no, we actually have genuine culture and voices that need to be heard, and we've kind of not. Well, I mean, yeah, we have put it upon, our shoulders to be like, hey, we should be the ones, or not the ones, but like we should do our best to kind of get like, the talent here known and put it out there. And it's not just us, it's, it's a ton of other bands and a ton of other people because like the times are changing. Like there was a big void in entertainment and music and comedy and acting and cinema. And now there's, I know I've been starting to get into the, like, I've gained new friends that are involved in making movies and writing soundtracks, and they're all from here, born and bred, and, things are starting to kind of be on the upswing for sure of Albuquerque.
Well, see, and it is. I agree with that. But again, if you don't want to get too political, we won't. But
let's do it.
But speaking with people that are in the entertainment industry, speaking with people that are whether they're people trying to get in and actually work there, or people that have, for instance, like I'm going to UNM right now for film production. And just talking with some of these fucking like professors that are like have been in the industry for like God knows how many decades. The consensus.
Oh, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about New Mexico.
Well, no, it's like New Mexico has so much potential, and it's so cheap to film here. It's so easy to do things. The landscape is gorgeous. All this stuff, but the fucking politicians will not get out of the way. Mm-hmm. They won't get out of the way. And the problem is like, so I spoke with, so obviously we're very much a blue Democratic ran state, but I spoke with Jay Block. He was a Republican candidate for the governorship, right? And one good point he brought up, because I don't really agree with fucking Democrats. I don't agree with Republicans. I think they're all a fucking joke, to be honest. Yeah, it's a fucking joke. But one of the things that I agreed with him on was, like, personally, before I get into this, personally, I think weed should be fucking legal. I don't understand why, it's a Schedule 4, which by definition...
Totally.
About all... I'm just kidding.
Really? Get the fuck out of here. Really? You're going to argue this?
Offensively, you smell it.
So
it smells bad.
by definition, Schedule 4 means that it has no medicinal use, which is ridiculous to me because we can have marijuana as a Schedule 4, but then also have medical marijuana. I mean, go fuck yourself, right? But like the second, but the second thing is like, okay, it's I don't know. It's just ridiculous to me that we can have a state anywhere in this country where marijuana is, obviously we've legalized it now and we're all good, but like at the time it was like, okay, it's fucking still legal, it's all these things, but then like we have states like Oregon that decriminalized everything.
Bro, psilocybin and shit like that.
Everything. So that's a whole different. We can get into that. That's a whole different subject.
Yeah, that's
but my point is like the priorities of government. I think weed should be legal. I'm glad that it is. However, when it comes to actually bolstering the economy, giving New Mexicans opportunities, there was apparently, and it's not surprising that this didn't get news coverage, because why would it? But there was a instance in, it was in like mid to late 2020, where Intel was going to open up another plant, but in Albuquerque.
Besides the Rio Rancho ones?
Right? Or no, it was in Rio Rancho. Just kidding. But what it was going to do, it was going to be in Rio Rancho, but their initiative was, because we opened up the first one, and we're going to employ most of Rio Rancho.
Right.
Now we're going to focus on the Albuquerque populace. Fucking drive 30 minutes and go to your job. Right? That was the idea. But then it was a bidding war between us, Arizona, and I think Colorado. Sure. But in reality, it was only between Arizona and Colorado. And when I guess they had this meeting or formal dining or something like that between a bunch of like governors and like state politicians or whatever it was, and this guy Block, he went and spoke with the governor of Arizona, and he was like, "Hey, so we lost it to you guys. Do you know what the deciding factor was?" And he goes, "New Mexico wasn't even a real decision. Are you fucking kidding me?" Because apparently what happened was the people who were heading the project over at Intel, they went to Grisham. Like, not her fucking representatives, not her office, not her staff. They went to Grisham and was like, "What's up? Like, we want to do this. This is our proposal. What do you think?" And instead of making the time in like the scheduling, making time in the budget, making time in setting apart land, they were so concerned with legalizing marijuana, quote unquote, according to him, again, just according to a Republican politician, they were so concerned with making weed legal, they passed up that opportunity.
And they passed up the fucking Tesla opportunity.
Yes, they did.
Yes, because Tesla was trying to fucking set up industry or
they
got facility here.
I just play guitar.
Yeah, go ahead.
But no, that's. Oh, sorry. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like why like yeah, weed it's great. It's lucrative, but bro, New Mexico don't have that water. New Mexico don't. It has the land, doesn't have the water. This is the biggest thing. Sorry. Yeah, it doesn't have the water, and yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know if I told you this, but I just got hired as an environmental policy analyst, so I'm like kind of like,
oh shit, okay.
Yeah, so I'm learning about like what are the moves that New Mexico, what is the state trying to do in terms of, you know, climate justice, in terms of energy transition, in terms of like, you know, by 2050 we're trying to be carbon neutral, and yeah, there's just a lot of, I don't know, barriers, but it almost seems like counterintuitive, like strategies. You know, it's like there's this like I'm learning about hydrogen. I'm learning about all these different types of things. But I'm sorry, I lost my point.
No. So you're good. So we're talking about how we were we had the opportunity to have a Tesla factory, a Tesla facility, but they passed it up, and we're trying to be carbon neutral, and you just got a job.
Plus Intel. It was just back to my point. It just seems like kind of New Mexico just, I don't know. Yeah, we're kind of left in the dust, and so we're having to make up our own like economic resilience. And so the only way to do that is investing in oil, gas, hydrogen. Intel uses a bunch of fucking water, but like maybe weed could have been that, and I really feel like
But we won't see the dividends of marijuana legalization for a couple years. Dude, it's so unfortunately, because that's the thing is like
what like bro, Oregon is ahead of the game. I bought $7 or basically a quarter for $25 in Oregon. We went to Bend, Oregon, remember?
Oh,
for our tour.
July.
Yeah, so I bought 7 pre-rolls. They were each a gram. Each a gram. Bought it for $25.
Yeah,
and I'm
crazy.
like, bro, New Mexico is ripping off everybody.
Yeah.
$12. Like the standard is between 10 to 14 a gram here at the dispensary. If you don't have medical, I have medical, so I get between like 8 and sometimes 11. But it's just kind of like, what the fuck, like.
Well, see, in full disclosure, I don't fucking smoke, so I don't know like prices and shit.
But, like, that's okay.
But like, just but my point is like, from
you want some weed?
What I know is like, I wish
30 a G, dude. But, I got you. That's a good
deal. But like, I just hear about how egregious the taxes are, and how egregious the prices are, and. I'm trying to think if they even have one. No, I literally don't know anyone who buys from a dispensary. They still buy from their fucking dealers.
From Paco?
Because why? Why not? They're going to get better, according to them, they're going to get better stuff. They're going to get lower prices. And then they have to fucking pay taxes.
You're not wrong, dude. Yeah, Latrell, my only dealer that I've had for fucking 7 years now. Still. He is my guy, so I try to hit him up for bulk deals. But like when I need carts or edibles, you have to go to dispensaries, and that's where you waste your money.
Yeah, but when we go out of town, like you're in fucking
bro.
We
Denver, Oregon.
When we're playing shows, this guy's like, we gotta stop. We gotta get gas, right?
Come on.
There's a spot literally like 2 blocks next to the gas station.
Bro, shut up. I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going with this.
And I'm like, hey, man, we're kind of late. We got to go to the show.
This guy's always in a rush. He's like, fucking take your hit. Yeah, we got
to go.
No, I just have a small bladder. I just drink a lot of water, and I have to use the restroom often. So, I have a couple minutes to.
But no, I just, at the end of the day, I don't understand, like, legitimately, I don't understand why our politicians just can't get their shit together and why they can't just make decisions that are better. Like, for instance, in 2017, 19-ish, around there, they made the decision where bail bonds are no longer going to be a thing in Mexico, pretty much. And their reasoning for that, which is completely oxymoronic, to be honest. It's that bail bonds are for the rich and they don't help the poor.
Jail is hell.
Which makes no fucking sense. Because the whole point of bonding out of jail is so that the random guy who got arrested can throw up $500 and get out of jail. It's not that so the fucking millionaire or the guy who makes over 6 figures can go ahead and just get out of jail. No. No, fuck no. Exactly. No, I don't get it.
Bro, I think, like, getting hired onto this position that I've been working with, or this organization, it's like it's so ridiculous how complicated and how many, like you said, how many barriers there are in the bureaucratic system just to get anything done, just to appropriate funding, just to get people to know about, hey, there's money here, there's things we can do. They're like, and getting those organizations who are really about, like, who are really committed to social justice, who are really committed to, like, creating change and the betterment for our community and the well-being for our community, musicians, whoever, like, it's just crazy how much work and organization is needed to be done to like just make the public aware. And it's I'm kind of just like, holy shit, like is anything that I'm doing like beneficial? Like because one, our team doesn't really understand like environmental science, the technicalities, but like at the same time it's like, bro, like when you said like your day was just busy as fuck, same. Like I had so many meetings today, I had so many people I had to talk to, it's just a lot, so many moving parts, and it's like, wow, like how does this government even work in the first place? Like what the hell? Like, and like why aren't they in the best interest for the people, you know? And it's just because.
So I have an answer to that. Well, because I think a lot of the
Money.
problems. Yeah, exactly.
You have the answer?
Yeah, I
Sitting here in Albuquerque?
Let's record this.
Yes, I am the answer. I just want to let you know. But I think a lot of the problems we're bringing up right now is because, like I was talking a little bit earlier, it's the ego, right? It's that I'm right, you're wrong. But talk about like having to deal with a lot of people, have all these meetings, and kind of like collaborate, and just not even like collaborate, because to collaborate means that people are responding, that people are actively engaged. To make that happen is a fucking it shoots and ladders. Like, so again, because in the industry that I work in, the developmentally disabled waiver field, which is a bunch of fucking nonsense, to be honest, but like it provides a good service, but my god, the system is fucked. Because like, so for instance, let's say you know somebody or you have a family member who has like a severe form of fucking autism, Down syndrome, fucking fetal alcohol syndrome, schizophrenia, a mixture of any fucking mental or physical disability, right?
Right.
You get them through the system, and mind you, the wait list to even get on the waiver is fucking 12 years average. 12. Yeah. That is how fucked our healthcare system is in only that realm. It's ridiculous. So let's say you get them on, you actually get them into a fucking group home, a company takes them in, all this stuff, right? Each individual has a team of people, right? And this is everything from like you have a case manager, and provided that they're not like mentally apt to make their own decisions, they have a guardian, they have a fucking conservator, they can have a rep payee, and an occupational therapist, physical therapist, the speech language pathologist. They can have a bunch of people on this team, right? Like I know a couple individuals we have that have one person. It's only their case manager, because they're not to be callous, but they're fucked up enough to be on the waiver, but like not that fucked up so they can make their own decisions. It's very weird. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So you have like that where it's only one, like a case manager, or maybe they have like an occupational therapist, they can have a job and stuff like that. But you have other people where they've got like fucking 7 to 8 people on their team. You have to collaborate with all these people and no, only this person's right, but no, only this person's right. And it's insane where it's like, we are all here so that this one person can exist. Can we just fucking not? This, at the end of the day, this is a 9-to-5 job. Can we just fucking compromise? But no, it's the human ego. Especially with me, because I'm only fucking 25, and most of these people are in their 40s. Yeah. So it's like, no, we've been around longer, so we can fucking. It's like, bro, come on.
Relating that point to not only my work but music, it's like, I don't know. I feel like everybody is in my organization working on the same. Like we're all like approaching the same goals. We want the same thing, but we're all working on it independently. We're not. We're all working on it independently, and we're not truly working on it as a collective, and we're not sharing ideas or like creating documents together. And if like, okay, this is a far stretch statement. Like, man, if everybody played
out shit albums,
aliens are fake. The Sumerians are real. But like, if everybody played music, if we could like learn to collaborate truly, and not just like have that ego to be like, okay, like I've put all of this information together, I've written these documents, like, hey, like let's sign off on this, or like I think that a lot of things would get done a lot faster, just because like I said, like our best music has come from us like accepting each other's sound in the moment, like doing things together, as opposed to like yeah, we have been apart, we have created things, but like,
well, that's a good point.
Shit gets done when you're together. Yeah.
I'll talk on the music because I know the music part.
I was trying to bring it back.
I was like, hey, what did I eat today? No,
My dog okay?
Yeah, is he good?
Just kidding.
Yeah, should probably give him a gas. 346. No, I think with us, in terms of ego, I think a lot about that saying, if you want to go far, or no, what is it? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I think a lot of what our goals are as a band is like we like want to write good music and music that people can relate to and music that people enjoy. And if it just so happens that it gets it blows up or becomes popular, okay, cool, like dope. Like, who doesn't want to play big shows? Who doesn't want to tour?
Right.
Like, who doesn't want to do that? But if all you're doing is wanting to play these shows or write big, get partners,
in it for the ego. Like,
but that's what I'm saying is if you're doing that just for the sole act of fulfilling this weird void in your ego, then it's not going to happen. One, because people are going to see right through it, and two, it's just doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it
totally can. It totally can. You can totally fake your way to the top.
Yeah, there are fake people who have been popular, but like we're more about composition and like creating something new and unique and raw. Yeah. Nothing that's been replicated or trying to like.
Yeah,
well, and that's the thing.
That's why we're Blink 182, Greta Van Fleet. What did you say? I forget.
Prince.
Yeah. Well, it's important because like the people that you say that made it to the top by themselves and being fake, they didn't do that.
Well, longevity.
They had one thing that got exposed, and a bunch of studio heads were like, "Hey, we can make $1 million off of that. Let's bring them up. Let's give them their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
And then they'll go ahead and they'll make us money. They will make us money. And that's why you have, like, who was the singer? I forget her name. Young, like 18, 19 years old. She got a lot of heat because she basically ripped off Paramore. Good for you.
Yes.
You know who I'm talking about, right? What did she do last week?
I don't know.
You have no fucking clue. You have no fucking clue because a studio head saw it because she has a good voice. She has a very good voice. I don't listen to her.
Who?
And that's my point. And I don't even know who the fuck she is. It's like I feel like it starts with a C.
Well, see, the thing is, it's like those types of people look for
Olivia Rodrigo. So she had her 15 minutes of fame, and I'm sure
she was on Disney since she was like. I don't know. I don't watch it. I was a Nick kid.
Oh, I had no idea about that.
Yeah, she was on. As far as I know, she was on Disney, and then she got signed to either Epitaph or Capitol and crazy amounts of money
because they saw potential to make
to make money. Yeah,
to make their millions.
I mean, from a business perspective. Like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, these were her numbers. This is her reach with social media. She's got an insane reach. We'll sign her. We'll do three albums, $250 million, like that. Whoa. And the way we like to think about, what we're doing, it's like, oh, we're like well, most of us. Well, besides Ben's the only white guy. It's like, oh, we're like an indigenous and Hispanic like band. Like, that's like kind of hard to come by. And then we've all been together since we've been kids. Like, to think of somebody being like, oh, I don't see that. I see a number sign on your head. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But also, it's like we're not gonna get mad that they see us like that. I mean, it's fucked up for sure, but
well, I was
also
gonna say,
it's like we're not gonna. I feel like we're confident in ourselves to know that, to recognize, you know, where we stand on our moral principles, or like, yeah, like whatever, you know, I don't. A big paycheck sounds nice, but we're not going to sacrifice the genuine, you know, connection that we have with each other over, you know, a couple of zeros.
Well, and I was having that conversation from a different angle, but I was actually having that conversation with the slums when I had them on. And it was because I lost my train of thought, actually. What were we talking about?
Black people.
No, we were talking about how you guys were, you're very unique, and I lost my train of thought. Holy shit.
Olivia Rodrigo.
No, I switched. But okay, but another point I wanted to bring up actually was with, you said that, you know, when you see a big bonus check, a big signing check, that you know, you don't really want to sacrifice that. I want to push back on that a little bit, because I'd agree. Like, I'm sure your principles and your morals are at, you know, I don't want to sacrifice what we have for a ton of money now when I believe in it enough to where we're going to make it later. That's fair. But I feel like a lot of people say that, but then they get handed a check for fucking $250,000, $500,000, or Lord forbid they crack open that briefcase and you've got, like in the movies, right? You crack open that briefcase, you got $1 million in front of you.
Yeah, and like we've had offers and stuff for management, and it's just like, it's not, you know, what we envision ourselves to be in that moment. It's just like, when the time's right, we will all kind of agree on it. And, you know, so far it just hasn't come yet.
So that in those,
we're not rushing anything, but also when you talk about how, you know, when you have that fat Pulp Fiction glow in your face, it's like, oh, that's kind of hard to turn down. Which, yeah, of course it is. It's, you know, kind of how people are. Just, you know, when you have something enticing in front of them, then yeah, for sure you're gonna. Well, because, you know, who doesn't want that?
Well, because it's literally life changing. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier about how, like, not why, but like, how do politicians get so corrupt? How does it get to a point where our government just doesn't work? And my answer to that, is everyone in this house, everyone in a fucking 100-mile radius, and I would honestly say everyone in this country, right, especially in the West, we have a threshold of how much money do I have to get to where my problems end, to where I'm out of debt. I'm in for the average person, right? I no longer have debt. I'm in a comfortable house. I have a nice enough car. If you're a man, my fucking family and my wife is taken care of, you know, whatever it is. Right? Right? Yeah, exactly. Because you literally, when you hit, again, for most people, I believe, when you hit a certain pay grade and you get a certain amount of money coming into your bank account every 2 weeks, the problems of the world no longer fucking matter. None of them matter, because it's like, oh, gas prices went up $2. I don't care. Right? It's like, I can afford it. I can pay for it. I have this wiggle room. I have more than enough money to deal with, to where it's like,
what was the question?
Who cares?
Just get fucked up. I mean, it is. Like I said, agreed. It's the convenience. It's I think the sense of individualism in our society, because I don't want to get all philosophical, but like, yeah, where I went to school, it's like, yeah, everybody's ambitious, everybody wants to do good, but like, everybody thinks they're the best, and nobody thinks that they can work together to be the best together. And like where I was raised, you know, you go out, you learn what you can, and you come back and you help your people. But I feel like people at Dartmouth, that's where I went to school, Dartmouth College.
Oh, fuck
yeah,
me.
Ivy League.
What is that? Like a
Ivy League.
Community college?
Yeah. New Hampshire Community College.
Cool.
But
it's like a JUCO?
Nobody thinks that way, bro. Nobody has collective mindset. Nobody, like, New Mexico's special in that way. And you know, there are people who, you know, run shit, who have a lot of money, who, yeah, they become alienated from those struggles, you know. And how do you relate that again? Like, I think about, like, like now I have a really good salary, and like I don't want to try to be that way. My older brother, he fucking makes good money because he's, you know, a business guy. He sells a lot of good shit and he makes a lot of good money. But yeah, it's I think I don't know. It takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of like that. In my opinion, that is generational healing, because if you think about like the colonial system, like it's meant to capitalize. It's meant to just make money off of people. It's meant to just make money off of the land, and like we can't live that way no more. You know, it's we alienate ourselves from each other. That's not real community. That's not real humanity.
And I think from a music and a songwriting perspective, you know,
how do you connect to people at all? If you're just saying like I'm right in your songs, it's like
we want to relate to the people whose, you know, the $5 gas, you know, it affects, and
we were talking about today housing, about like, dude, you need to make 3 times the fucking rent, but no majority of New Mexico like can barely fucking like make the next fucking month like, of just pay. Like they're just trying to live paycheck to paycheck. Like the system is fucked up, and people are exploiting other people, that's how the system has literally been since the fucking Magna Carta, since fucking England decided, oh, we're gonna take most of the riches from the poor. Like that's where that came from, and that came to America, and like it's fucked. And sometimes I feel like the world is so backwards. What the fuck am I gonna do? I don't know. Except, like, have these conversations, tell people, like, hey, this is real. Let's work together.
Yeah.
Who else is going to do this? Nobody but us. And why not us? Think about that. Why not us?
Yeah.
Could be you. Could be you. Well, could be homie over here playing the games. Could be homies upstairs sleeping. Like, why not us? Why can't we create a world... Like, yeah, I'm a man. I want to fucking have children. I want to fucking have a family. Like, I want to provide for my family. But I want them to have a good world to live in. I don't want to be all selfish and just give them some fucking dried up river, some fucked up place to live. Like, fuck. Am I going to be proud of that? Hell no.
See,
I am.
It's great. Yeah. Fuck you. You're going to die early.
I like
you can die at 35.
I like my F30.
Hey, way to keep it real, Jared.
Well, no, that's one of, if I'm being honest, that's one of the only things that makes me excited about our collective generation. One of the only things. Because amongst the social media, amongst the TikTok dances, amongst the fucking stupidity,
Olivia Rodriguez
amongst those is the people where like, there's a very quiet but controlled rage at the above that our generation has. Where it's like, we're not gonna fucking kill you, we're not gonna like uprise, but it's like when we get into power, we are not gonna do what you did. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. Because again,
man, power's kind of cool.
Exactly.
You ever had some?
No. No. I'm just kidding. But it's like, it's like we were talking earlier. Was like everyone has morals until they get signed $500,000. They see a couple million in a briefcase.
Right.
That's when your morals kind of become a little waverable, because it's like, okay, I can stand by principles, or I can pay off my debt, my wife's debt, my mom's debt. I can buy a house, a car. It's like, I can literally make my life more comfortable.
Why even have these debts in the first place? Why the fuck are we trying to like pay? Like, okay, I'm just getting at the real shit. Why isn't there affordable housing? Why isn't there affordable living? Why don't we all have universal healthcare? All this shit comes from our fucked up government, because they don't give a shit. They want to exploit us and get as much money from us as possible. But there's countries around the world who have proven systems.
I like a heated pool.
Systems beside his bullshit that we can work as a collective. But yeah, it's like, if you're so down bad, if you get born into the system with debt, like you're like, oh, you need to fucking just create your way. It's like, yeah, what it is what the fuck is the environmental term? Fucking something of the commons. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Passing gas.
No. Something of the comments. It's like basically the concept of that. What I'm trying to talk about is everybody is out for their best benefit, and if they can get as much like resources as they can, they're gonna do it. Tragedy of the commons. That's an environmental resources term that has been tossed around for years, and it's essentially it's like, okay, if there's a lake here, I can fish 5 fish, and you can fish 5 fish, you can fish 5 fish, and we'll have fish forever. But like nobody knows, I could take 6, I could take 7, and same thing. You had the same idea, you had the same idea. Eventually, that's not going to replete itself. Eventually, it's going to run out. And you think about like we live in a system, a society who believes in the tragedy of commons, as opposed to collective like unification and like hey, I'm looking out for you for real. And that's why I think like, okay, I'm an indigenous person, like that's where indigenous philosophy comes in. I don't want to get all political about that, but like
go ahead because frankly I haven't had a whole lot of people with that background, so go ahead.
I'm just saying like a collective society looks after each other, even if you're marginalized, even if you've done bad shit, even if you're on the margins of society, they still look after you. And the government doesn't do that. We exploit each other, we try to make money off each other, and we put people in debt. And so what does that leave people with? Struggle with like, hey, I need to pay off this debt. I need to like look out in the best interest for me and my family, not for my community, because I'm in it, like I said, the individualism. I'm in it for myself. I'm trying to be the best of myself, not the best for myself and the community. And so I feel like that's where America goes wrong. It's like we're kind of just in this like individualistic mindset of not having this real genuine like, damn, you're down, like, hey, let's help you out. Let's fucking not like, oh shit, I'm doing better than you. Fuck you.
So I would push back on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just because what you are conceptualizing is a utopia.
It's not a utopia.
Right. Yeah, I think it is. No, I think it is.
Like because there's always consensus, there's always contention.
No,
but it's a fact of like.
But it's
I'm in it for the benefit of each other's well-being, not for the advancement of
right. But the problem is that there will always be people who just want to say, "Fuck you." There are always people who just want to just ruin things. Like I forget who said it, but there's a quote where the guy basically goes, "Yeah, if we created utopia, one of the first things we do is burn it down just to see what happens."
I have a philosophy for this, for your question. So the people who are non-providers, who can't take care of them shit, there's an indigenous philosophy. It's like, well, you have to take care of yourself. You can't take care of me, my family, your own family, your community members. What purpose do you serve? What are you gonna do? Can you survive on your own if you were accidentally separated? I think those people, right. It's hard to look after them, and it's hard. I don't want to get too much in politics, but it's I don't know. It's that's where education goes wrong. That's where parenting goes wrong. That's where things why is that kid in the first place so unambitious? So fucking I'm so against my family and the system. I don't need to do shit. It's where did it go wrong in their upbringing? Why didn't their dad? Maybe they left. Maybe their dad was a piece of shit. Maybe their mom was a piece of shit. Maybe they just didn't push them hard enough. We are so privileged in the fact that we have both of our parents, and that fact that we can have both role models to look up towards, to push us. I grew up with so many people in my high school who had single moms. My whole high school basketball team only had single moms. That's all you would see at the basketball games. And it's no wonder these guys had emotional issues, got angry all the fucking time, because it's they didn't have a man or someone there telling them how to behave and how to properly lead the team. And so it's it's not down to just, there's going to be people like that. It's down to the parenting. It's down to how they invest their energy, how the education teaches people. It's so complicated.
I agree.
And that's what I'm saying. At an indigenous perspective, these were small communities. They weren't operating at large scales. And if someone wasn't willing to change, what are you going to do for them? And that's the premise, is this responsibility is that you can't let that happen. And we have let our system gone to a point where it's like, okay, I'm going to let these teachers basically raise my children because they're 8 hours a day. They come home for 5? I don't have to interact with them, maybe 3 because I'm watching TV or go to bed. And who's raising your children? Teachers. Teachers are raising your children. They don't get enough credit, not enough pay, not enough fucking benefits. And it's sad. It's sad. My mom's a fucking professor. She was a high school teacher for years. And I just hate when not everybody is like that. Everybody has the potential to self-actuate, to be anybody that they want to be healthy. That's why I'm so happy that you and I are in a good spot. I see that in all my friends. I see that in the people. Not all homeless people don't want to be homeless. It's just people need basic needs and services and feelings and just support. And that is not given to the public.
Well, and
that is my biggest point, I think.
Well, that's one of the biggest things that opened my eyes, because I had no idea to even how to even form a perspective on the homeless problem, because the homeless problem in Mexico is insane. It is absolutely ridiculous. But
just shut down Coronado Park, I think.
But one thing that opened my eyes was Rogan had an episode with the mayor of Austin, because their homeless problem is starting to really skyrocket. Mm-hmm. And the mayor, when he's talking, he brings up a really good point, and he goes, most of our demographic of homeless people are not drug addicts, alcoholics, severely mentally disabled people. It's not that at all. It's people who were making, as we were saying a little earlier, paycheck to paycheck, right? And then it was the car broke down. So they got to buy a new car, can't afford it. So they buy a new car, they have a new car note. It's about $300 to $500 a month. Okay. Then they got a hospital bill. So now it's, okay, are we going to pay the hospital bill, or are we going to pay the car note? Okay, we're going to sacrifice the car note a little bit to pay the hospital bill so that we don't fucking pay that debt, but have this debt. And then it kind of goes, and then all this gets taken away. And then that's why most of the homeless population in America is male, because what happened in, I guess, this specific demographic of Austin is what they find is they start to get into a lot of debt. Things get repoed, things get foreclosed on, and then the wife takes the kids, goes live with the parents, lives with the sister, lives with the friends, whatever it is. And the guy, God bless him, he was super fucking honest. He was like, yeah, the chick goes and fucking gets with another guy who got a lot of money. But the other dude who went and lost all his money, lost his family, lost his job because now he doesn't have a car to go to work, so he gets fired. Homeless. It's very interesting, and I agree.
I was just talking. So my organization just interviewed the representative who is running for District 19, which is the part of the international district, and he was talking about that problem, about people don't want to be homeless. People are out here working paycheck to paycheck. And yeah, some fucked up shit happens like that. They lose their car, they might get divorced, and then they get separate from family. And then there's these even more emotional issues that come with all right, you're not good enough. You're not providing for the family. We're not going to support you. So where is that, And it's kind of just this. A lot of people think, oh, why are these people out here? Why are they constantly here and asking for money? It's I had my ex-girlfriend. Her dad was yeah, that's these people just want to live outside. They just want to just be homeless. And then you start talking to representatives who, and other, I lived on Wyoming and Zuni for about 9 months. And I got to know a lot of the people in the community because there was a park, and I would go smoke weed and just interact with people. And yeah, it's not these people love their life. It's they want a stable house and home to come home to. And it's, it's just really sad, just the way that, I don't know, that there isn't a housing shortage. I just learned that there are 14,000 homes that aren't available to New Mexican citizens who have a salary to pay for that shit. And that was what Enrique, I can't start talking about this because it's illegal, but it's like C4 work. Anyways, so this representative was like, yeah, like, hey, you know, there's 14,000 homes that people who can afford can't move out or can like affordably or, you know, go and live in because, like I said, you know, you got to make 3 times the rent. There just isn't enough homes for people. And then you think about the homeless population. It's just like, well, what do we do with them? They don't want to live in a shelter because that's where they're disrespected and they're not treated right. And then they just want to be human. And it's so messed up. And it's, yeah, I don't know. I really hope with our musical platform, kind of like taking this all back, like, I don't want to get political or anything, but like, we have a platform. We can say anything to people.
You do.
And what are we gonna say that matters?
So I think I think that's a very good.
I think what we need to going forward, getting our traction. Nothing that's like obviously like hella contentious.
Build for-profit prisons.
Fuck people.
I want all of that. I want to build
none of that. But like stuff that's like, you know, like really affecting people's daily lives. It's a reality that we see in New Mexico. Like, how can we as Side Montero be more of an advocate?
Well,
what do you think?
Well, that's what I was going to say. A perfect place to end on is, where are you guys going next? What's the plan? Without giving away too much, I know you guys don't want to like spoil your gig, but like, what do you guys intend on doing next? What's next for you guys?
Well, right now, we want to get out of here. We want to erase everything Albuquerque and New Mexico. I'm just kidding. No.
Want to move?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. What's next for Side Montero? I think right now we're writing a lot of the new stuff that should be coming out here in a bit, and we're laying down some demos, and we'll start tracking them here in a sec, and just kind of gauging where we're at when Levi graduates school, because after him we are all done and ready to start doing this thing. So still waiting on that guy. I'm just kidding. But once we're all, because like the way it had worked in the past was that we've never been together for more than 6 weeks out of a year, since high school, since we'd been gone. Everybody was in different parts of the country, and then now that we've graduated and Ben's graduated, now we're back here in Albuquerque, and so we can actually start taking time to writing some new stuff and figuring out where we're gonna play, touring schedules. It's been good. Just the fact that we've all been here, and then now once Levi graduates this year, we'll really start to put the gas pedal down. And
Saturday's jam session was like really sick. Like we had a bunch of ideas just fucking flowing, and that was like a lot of it. Like I love when we get that excitement. It's just because it's like, damn, it's like, there's so much new stuff we could come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more potential. We just want to keep our music refreshing for our audience.
Right.
And I think that's like the biggest thing about our music is like each song kind of sounds so different from one another. When you're at the show, it keeps it refreshing. It's like
that's one thing with the live shows. It's like I like to consider us a live band, because
totally
we're like the studio stuff is cool and all. Like, don't get me wrong, but like we just like thrive. We thrive in a live setting. We take everything that we're frustrated with or whatever we're dealing with, and we just throw it all in the live show. And we have a lot of friends and family that come out and support, and we're like, oh, these people came to come watch us, and like we want to put on a good show. And the next show in a month or so, we don't want them just seeing the same show. Like, we should probably, write a new song. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Well, full disclosure, I wouldn't mind the same show because the first one was fucking great.
Thank you, man.
So-
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
But listen, I really appreciate your time. I do.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming down.
Thank you
I'm
for
very
the
happy
chat.
that you guys were the first guests in this new studio
Yeah.
space. Hopefully the next time you guys come by, it'll be a lot more improved, and a lot more
No
put
worries.
together.
No,
But
you're good. When will this be out?
so where are we right now? On
30.
Wednesday. It'll be out next Friday.
Okay.
So-
So we have a show coming up.
16th?
Launchpad September 16th. So that'll be the next show. So if you want, come out. If you don't like it, well, fuck you. I'm kidding. Come out. We'll have some new stuff at the show. That's on Unleashed. And then, if you like what you hear, you can stick around for a bit. We got some new stuff dropping. So
Yeah. Got a new single we're about to record that's fully done.
yeah.
Got about 6 new songs that we get to write.
Cool.
So
But
it's
yeah,
in
man,
the works.
yeah,
It's in the works.
Yeah, a lot of new stuff's coming, and we've been away for a while now, so we're excited to kind of share what we've learned and what we've experienced from our time off, and we just can't wait for people to hear. So, but yeah, dude, this was a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you, Noah.
No, I
Appreciate it.
appreciate
Yeah.
it, and it was a pleasure having you guys.
Thank you.
And fuck, man, I gotta be honest. It's good to be back.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did.
It's good.
This was great. This was
it's
awesome.
good to be back. It's been about 2 months since I recorded anything, so it's a month and a half, 2 months. So it was good to be back, and I couldn't be happier with you guys being the first guest back in.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for having us, man. Seriously,
It's been a
you.
fucking pleasure.
Appreciate
We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
It's fun.